What's up, guys? G98 here, and welcome back to the Session 98 series. If you're not familiar with this series, what I pretty much do here is I give my honest opinions of video games. And the video game we're going to be talking about today honestly surprised me. And I think surprised a lot of people because it wasn't, one of these overhyped games. And the game is Deus Ex Human Revolution. What is Deus Ex Human Revolution? It's honestly what a lot of games today should be. Giving you the option to be really sneaky and stealthy, or be gung-ho like any other first-person shooter. Be able to, determine what you do at the end of the game and choose your ending. This is what most games today should be. They should be role-playing games. You choose what you say, you choose what you do, and depending on what you do in the game, it affects the rest of the game. And that's why Deus Ex Human Revolution is a really good game. Now, the last Deus Ex game I actually didn't play. This is actually a prequel to the original one that I believe came out in 2000. And the story pretty much is, I believe it's like 20-something years in the future, and this group called Seraph Industries, this industry pretty much has been able to fix decapitated limbs. So pretty much if your arm gets blown off, you can replace it with a cybernetic arm. So pretty much cybernetics. And this was a great invention, except one problem. In order for you to use your augmentation, that's what they're called, by the way, augmentations, you had to take this drug, but this drug was highly addictive. So unfortunately, if you didn't take this drug that was very expensive and highly addictive, your augmentation wouldn't work. So so Adam Jensen and Megan Reed have pretty much figured out how to perfect this, where I believe that the addiction of the drug wouldn't happen. So that is a pretty epic thing. And then plus, you've got then the opening night before they present this, 3 cybernetic augmented soldiers, mercenaries, break into Seraph Industries, kidnap the whole team, and pretty much own Adam Jensen, which is the guy you play as. And he has no choice to become physically augmented with cybernetics, and he's pretty much chasing down these group of mercenaries, which unravels a vast conspiracy. I'm not going to tell you what the conspiracy is, obviously, because it's really the game that I don't really want to talk too much about, because I think you should play it and honestly see what unravels later on, because the story is pretty damn epic. Gameplay-wise, I think the gameplay is exceptional. Like I said earlier, you can choose between if you want to go really stealthy or if you want to just go gung-ho and shoot everyone. I tried to mix it up a little bit in my playthrough. I like to, go in and be a little bit stealthy and then just, end up shooting everyone if they noticed me. But if you're going to play it, like an average FPS game, then you want to stock up on ammo, you want to loot your enemies. But if you want to go stealthy, I recommend you upgrade the 10mm pistol with a silencer and a red dot sight. Or laser sight. That is outstanding if you do that. You pretty much take them out instantly. So, that's what I kind of used when I was, sneaking around the facilities and the places in the game. There are different locations in the game. There's Detroit, which is your normal area, which is where Seraph Industries are. Then there, I believe, is like Shanghai, and then there's a couple of other locations towards the end. I have to say, as an RPG, this is outstanding. It's got elements from Mass Effect, some elements here and there from Fallout. I don't really think it's that much like Fallout, but it borrows some elements. But mostly Mass Effect, if you ask me. The way, and just like those Mass Effect and Fallout, depending on what you say, can have a huge impact later on in the game. And there are these devastating takedowns where you can either just knock the guy out, which is pretty much just punch him and he'll just knock out. By the way, if you do that and there's a guy in front of you, move the body quickly, because you can do that just like in Metal Gear 4 and the other Metal Gears too, I believe. Or you can do the kill him thing, where it's just pretty much you hold B or 0 if you're on PS3, and he pretty much just unleashes this blade that's on his arm and just like slits the guy's throat or leg or whatever, and kills him. So definitely great choices with this game by Eidos Montreal. I think overall they did a fantastic job with gameplay. And, you know, there is a leveling up system. Obviously, this is an RPG, so there is a leveling up system where you can upgrade your guns, you can upgrade your augmentations with pretty much these things called Praxis points. And those let you upgrade various augmentations within the game. So, for example, there are augmentations which make you turn invisible. There's augmentations where you can, like, break through walls, see through walls, stuff like that. And, in all honesty, to be honest, the only one that really I used was actually the invisible. That saved me more times than I can think of, using the invisible thing, just going invisible. Especially too when you alert someone and then the enemies send those giant robots with the turrets. Those things are extremely hard to kill unless you have an EMP grenade. So what I ended up doing, I just used that invisible thing, ran right past them, and they didn't even see me, and I was able to proceed to the next area, which is pretty cool. So overall, gameplay is outstanding. Love the upgrades. Love the leveling up system. Fantastic. Okay, what did I not like about Deus Ex? To be fair, very little. One thing I did not like was the hacking. And I mentioned that a lot of times during my playthrough and on Twitter. You know, when I was saying, oh, more Deus Ex, I love the game, but I hate the hacking. That is true. I do not like the hacking for one reason. The mandatory need to do it. It's similar to BioShock 1. With those stupid water tubes. The mandatory need to do them. It just becomes pretty much an optional thing later on. Same thing with BioShock. But that I didn't like. And after a while, at the start it is hard because you have no idea what the hell you're doing. Once you get the hang of it, it's really not that hard. I was getting pissed off for the first couple hours I was playing it, but after that I got the hang of the hacking. I actually ended up enjoying hacking, so that's not really a big flaw. In terms of glitches, I didn't experience many, and that's a big thing since this is an open world game. And unlike a game like Fallout New Vegas where there are tons of bugs left and right, this is really a breath of fresh air since there's no bugs. I didn't experience any bugs or glitches. And the only bug I've been hearing so far is that sometimes the subtitles screw up. I didn't find that at all. Graphics are good. There's no problem with the graphics. What else did I not like about the game? One thing I did like about the game was, unlike in a game like Fallout, loading was extremely short. Granted, I did install this game to my Xbox 360 hard drive. I did the mandatory install, which is optional. And if you don't do the install, the loading times at the longest are about a minute, which is not bad, saying that in Fallout New Vegas, I believe the longest load time I had was about 7 minutes, which is insane. But yeah, the loading times in this game are extremely short. And it does borrow, this game, a lot from Metal Gear Solid and from Mass Effect. I think this game, it really was like a first-person Metal Gear Mass Effect game. Mixed with some elements from Halo, maybe, gameplay-wise. So, overall, it's a pretty damn good game. And definitely one of my favorite games of the year. Is Deus Ex Human Revolution my favorite game of the year? I can't say that right now, because there's still a couple other games that I did like this year, and there's still a lot of games. I'm looking at my calendar right now. You've got Resistance 3, which I'm about to boot up. There's Gears of War 3. There's so many games just this month, and then next month you've got the new Batman, you've got Rage, you've got Battlefield 3, and I still liked LA Noire a lot, and I liked a few other games this year. This is definitely a high Game of the Year contender, though, for me, and definitely one of my favorite games of the year. So, Deus Ex Human Revolution gets a 9 out of 10. Actually, make that a 9.1 out of 10. Definitely one of my favorite games of the year. Found little to no bugs. Oh, one thing. The character of Adam Jensen. I liked him. He was a cool character. One thing I didn't like, I wish he had a little bit more facial expression, because he just seemed like, I'm talking like this with a deep voice throughout the whole game. And, you know, you don't really get too much personality out of his face. I wish they could have, you know, fixed that a little bit. But overall, he's a great character. Not my favorite character of the year. Absolutely not. But he's definitely one of my favorite characters of the year. Because at the end of the year, I do plan on doing, you know, my best games, my worst games, and my favorite characters of the year.